Before we start today's video, I want to introduce you to a clothing company that I was recently introduced to called Western Rise, and more specifically, their Evolution pants. These are lightweight, ultra-breathable, stretchy, and moisture-wicking pants that is dressed up enough for a meeting, but also rugged enough for outdoor activity. They also feature their Evolution fabric, which is an abrasion-resistant fabric with the soft hand feel of cotton and the perfect drape and stretch. They also repel moisture like absolute magic. Besides all that too, they have some really cool features like a pocket in the front for your phone and a hidden zip pocket in the back for your wallet. They also offer a 7-day test drive on these where you can actually test out multiple colors or sizes, and they won't charge you unless you keep them. On top of that, they're offering you guys a discount by using code MMTV at checkout. So far, I have to say I found these pants to be pretty awesome. I mean, I can definitely see why these pants have gotten over 5,000 5-star reviews, and if you want to check them out for yourself, check out the links in the description. Now, on to today's episode. What is happening, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking once again at the Tough and Tumble lineup. If you remember, we started our look at this brand a while back with their 01 styler, and as I said in that vid, we will be going down the entire line looking at all three of their products, and now we will also be looking at their shampoo and conditioner, which spoiler alert, is freaking awesome. But today we are diving all the way in to their 02 styler and seeing what it's all about. Alright, according to the brand and their website, the number 2 Solid and Shine Lava Pomade infused with volcanic clay is arguably the world's strongest pomade. They say it has an extreme holding power that will cement your well-groomed hair with a little bit of flexibility. They also say it will polish and sparkle up your hairstyle, which is kind of making me nervous to try it now. I'm not gonna lie, I got this mental image of like the Hulk mixed with one of those Twilight vampires, you know, the real sparkly ones. I mean, it's super strong, yet it sparkles up the style. I mean, I don't know. Let's dive deeper. Beyond all of those amazing things, the brand also tells us this pomade has an easy rinse feature, and it comes in the same 3.3 ounce metal tin that its numerical line brother comes in, and it has a price of $20 US. Looking inside the jar here, I'm sure you're all extremely eager to see the pomade that can both destroy worlds and make you look incredible doing it. And let me tell you, this was not what I was expecting, like at all. Let me just tell you, this stuff really caught me off guard. I was expecting a gel type pomade. I'm sure the majority of you at home were too. I mean, this pretty much describes a gel type, and when it's a lab-made pomade, they say it has this extreme hold. It's pretty much always a gel type, right? And gel types, or orthodox water-based pomades, they have a certain feel to it. They have a certain look. And most gel types, as we've seen, they have a certain look to them. They have a certain feel. I mean, you can't really hide it. You can tell right away, I could probably tell even blindfolded when I'm touching a gel type versus another product. But when I, gave this one the old one-finger death punch, I found it to have a very odd consistency, which on one hand makes sense given the description thus far, but on the other hand, it's kind of nuts because this feels soft and dense, almost like a petro-based pomade, which later made sense when I actually looked down in the ingredients list and I saw that it had petroleum in there. So this makes it very cool for a couple of reasons. One, it's like an oil water-based hybrid. So it's the first ingredient is water, which, people debate what that means. For me, I've always just gone with the first ingredient is the most dominant ingredient, which if it's water, it's a water-based product. If it's petroleum in the first slot there, the most dominant ingredient, it's oil-based. These ones kind of blend the two together. It's a hybrid, which now knowing that, it really makes sense for the way that it's feeling here. It's not sticky at all. It's got some density to it though. And really to me, it gives me a good idea how it's going to perform. It's going to perform, just like an oil base should, but it's going to have the washability and all of that of the water-based product. That's kind of, that was my prediction anyway before I actually used it, because it's got this like softness to it that you'd find in the oil-based product. It's going to give you that control of the hair like you'd have with an oil-based product, so that I had some pretty high hopes going into it. And really when I went in to try it, that's pretty much exactly what I found when I used it. Take a look here. We're styling with towel dried hair, so there's a mixture of dry pieces, damp pieces, and almost dry pieces. You know, it's all around just towel dried. And this was actually the best and easiest way that I found to style with this pomade. And as I add in the first scoop here, it's absolutely going exactly the way that I thought. You know, it's got that oil-based pomade feel. It's very slick. There's a lot of control there from the density of the petro. You can actually kind of feel it taking over. There's not much presentable tackiness or stickiness there. The control and hold is coming from the thickness of the consistency of the product. It's remaining very slick, of course, which comes in handy when you comb, because the comb just glides right through your hair like nothing, and it causes the hair to stick together really nicely. So you have that nice balance of the hair wanting to stick together with the slickness of the product through the comb. It just makes achieving volume and a polished style very easy. I mean, I barely had to spend any time at all on this killer final result. Here's a look now 4 hours in on that same style, and we can see it definitely changed up a little bit. It went a different way on us. It set in and hardened up. We can see there, that's where that hold, that extreme hold's coming from. It definitely locked in. This was not something that I saw coming, but it's not going anywhere. I mean, we can safely say it's not going anywhere. At 8 hours in, I do think that we have just a tiny bit of movement there. It was a super hot day though. I'll talk about this in a second. I filmed this one, it was just super hot. So I think it did loosen just a tad bit, but I think for 8 hours in on a 100-degree day, I think this actually still looks quite good. Now, I do have to say, for me, this one here as a reviewer was a lot of fun because it was different. It wasn't just a standard gel type pomade. It wasn't the same old thing. It gave me the chance to explore something a little different. And what I really liked about it was how it had that oil-based type vibe to it in both the hand and, initially at least, in the hair. And well, and I'll go as far as to say in the final style. Initially, it had that really nice, slick, oil-based classic greaser look to it. The styling, it was, again, super awesome. The product was intuitive in the hair. It just seemed like it almost wanted to style itself. The final style you saw was something that I consider to be a home run. Where I'm on the fence, though, was what happened after that. And I'm talking about that hardening up. I'm on the fence about that because that hardening up, on one hand, it worked really well. It kept things in check. It kept things held in place, even in the heat. You know, it was a 100-degree day there, so it did hold things in place. On the flip side, though, I just wasn't a huge fan of how it hardened up, seeing how great the initial impression and styling was. That all being said, though, I do have to give them credit for the strength of this pomade. I mean, it really does harden up a lot. Hardens up a lot, but your style, you know, it really ain't going anywhere. So for folks with super hot climates, hotter than, you know, 100-degree day for me is super hot. I talked to some of you guys that have, you know, it goes even higher than that. So I give you guys all the credit in the world. So I do want to point that out, that it held up pretty well for me on a 100-degree day. It might be something to think about for you guys with a even hotter climate. The other thing that I want to give them credit for is the washout. For how much this stuff hardens up and the fact that it has petro in the hair, this stuff just flies completely out of the hair as soon as water touches it. I mean, it's completely gone. You can even feel it when you rinse the product off your hands after you style with it. You just run it under water and it just completely goes away. I do also think, though, that's why we saw just a little bit of movement in the endurance test there, because of course, you know, with it being 100 degrees here and you know, doing stuff, moving around, going through my day, I began to sweat a little bit, and I think the product, you know, responded accordingly to that, and I think that just led to a little bit of movement there. But lastly, though, the scent on this product, it was pleasant. It wasn't super in your face, you know, it wasn't, you know, really overbearing. It's a smooth cologne type scent, which I thought was good. It's a nice choice. It wasn't, you know, too worrisome for my allergies. It didn't bog up my nose. You know, I could actually breathe around it, which is always a good thing for me. Once I threw it in the hair, it completely disappeared, so it really wasn't that big a deal. I have no quarrels with the scent whatsoever. I do think, though, that is all my thoughts that I have on this pomade here. We will be taking a look at the 03 pomade from this line as well. And like I said, the shampoo and conditioner, that one's going to be a big video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon to be notified when those videos come out. You're definitely not going to want to miss those. If you would like to check this pomade out or anything else from the Tough and Tumble lineup, links as usual will be in the description there for you to check out. They even have a new subscription box that you could even check out now. That's pretty cool. I'll have more info on that in the next video, but go to their site, check out the subscription box if you are interested in checking these out and wanting to get started right away. Thank you, though, once again for stopping by the channel and checking this out with me. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.